Hello, my viewer and listener. Welcome once again to this morning session. What a precious day and gift that God has given us, that we are able to come before His presence with hearts full of thanksgiving. Indeed, I want us to share a text from the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13, verse 13. The Bible says, "Now abide faith, hope, love. These three, but the greatest in these is love." And Paul talks about the greatest gift. He talks about the faith, he talks about the hope. But he singles out love being the greatest of all these gifts. And he says that even if one prophesied but does not have love, if one gave his riches and goods for the poor and the widow, but does not have love, it's all for nothing. And therefore, I want us to share very quickly what this love is. In a way that I want us to do it is asking ourselves, how is our love reflected in the society? In other words, how compassionate are we? When we talk of compassion, we are talking of love in action. And the compassionate or love in action can comprise a number of things as the following: that having the mercifulness of God, having the kindness of God, having the generosity of God, having the justice of God, and having the patience of God. All these points that I've said, these are attributes, or they reflect the nature of God, because our God is a compassionate God. Our God is a long-suffering God. Our God is a God who executes justice to those who are oppressed. Our God is a God who is able to bear up with us, even when we go against His will. And therefore, when we are talking of compassion, it's having that deep awareness of the suffering of another person, of course coupled up with the wish to relieve it or to give a helping hand. So when we talk of compassion, we are talking of love in action. And how do we show love in action? Is by having that deep awareness that there are people around us, there are people in our society who are really suffering. There are people in our society who needs our help. Because being a Christian is being like Christ. Because Christ came and He did a lot of other things to the people in His time. Because He came, He healed the sick. He gave good health those who were suffering. He delivered those who were possessed by demonic spirits. He brought the good news. Those who were in captivity, He set them free. And all these things, He was so touched. He was so connected. He had that deep awareness that people that He was serving were really suffering. And therefore, as believers, we are expected to show the same kind of deep awareness that around us in our society, there are people who are suffering. There are people who need our help. I'm so touched that we live in a society whereby people just zoom past you. People do not even care. People do not even know the next neighbor. People do not even bother to know who is who. But then, that is not what is expected of us as believers. Christ expects us to have that deep awareness that there are people who are around us, there are people in our community, there are people in our fellowships who are really suffering, who are going through issues in life, and yet we have not shown that awareness to see how we can give a helping hand. A true believer, my friend, is expected to come through and intervene or see or explore ways on how he or she can help to relieve the kind of situation that is there. And therefore, this morning, I want us to be challenged in our lives that we have got to have that humane quality of being aware, of being touched, of being in a position to relate with the sufferings, to relate with those who in society have needs, that we can explore ways on how we can be of help to them, of how we can bring hope to them, because some of them do not even have a way on how to get out. But we who have seen the light and God has delivered us, realizing that we were once in that kind of state, but God being gracious, he became compassionate unto us and he delivered us. So we need to extend the same kind of compassion, love in action to these brothers and sisters who are suffering. So I want to challenge each and every one of us this morning that we must have that quality that causes us to take on the cares and concerns of those around us. We must have that concern to accept and know that we need to be together as one body. Remember the early disciples in the book of Acts, the Bible says that they moved from one place to another, breaking bread together, sharing together, eating together. And there was none among them who had need. What did they have? They had compassion. They practiced their love in action. And therefore, even in our society, I know it's a complex society, but with the help of God, we can extend that which the Lord has bestowed in our lives. There is a way that God has blessed you. It doesn't mean that it's only finances. God has blessed you even with that word that you can give out, that word that you can say, that encouraging word, that compliment that you can say to that person, that thank you, welcome, those kind of words, they do a great impact on the lives of people. And therefore, I want us to be challenged this morning that let us open our hearts and our minds to those in need around us and to see how we might respond to those needs. And let us learn to speak a blessing into the lives of everyone we encounter. Because there is nobody that you encounter or comes your way that is not divinely connected or God sent to your way. So let us speak a blessing unto people. When we meet people, when we come across people, let us learn to tell them welcome. Let us learn to speak a blessing unto their lives. Let us not condemn them, because what they are going through we may not know. But we can speak a blessing. We can show our love in action unto them. So, brethren, even as I sum up this morning, it's my challenge that open up your heart, open up your mind, and see that those who are around us, how can we be of help to them? How can we give a helping hand? And I know when we do that, our gracious God is going to bless us. May the Lord bless you richly, and may He sustain you until another time when God gives us the opportunity. The peace of God be with you.